Hello and welcome. It is 10:30 on a Saturday night. Thank you very much for joining us. Tonight we go to the place that is so nice, even the gods holiday there. This is Untold Chronicles Ionia, episode 2. There we go. Ooh, so first of all, as usual, it is only polite to say thank yous. I want to thank all of our players for joining us tonight in what should be an exciting episode, but who knows? Last night we almost had a total party wipe, so you can never know how these things go. So a big thank you to you for joining us. Big thank you to everybody who is viewing tonight. Really appreciate it. It looks like we've got a lot of people tonight, so thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Watching live or watching video on demand, either here or on YouTube. So a big thank you to you as well. And last but not least, we do this every stream, but we want to say a big thank you to Hero Forge for giving us permission to use their images from their website. In our stream, we use it for our player characters and some NPCs and the like, really. Many of the character images are designed using Hero Forge, a wonderful way to create your own custom miniatures, get them 3D printed. You can find them at www.heroforge.com. Please note that anything mentioned on the stream may not represent the view or beliefs of Hero Forge, a Sky Castle Studios LLC product. So, these Untold Chronicles go super fast. They're only an hour and a half, so let us dive straight in. On the last episode, it became apparent that delivery of wine to one of the favourite tavernas had become interrupted, and our protagonists set out to find out what the problem was. The problem was that the family who run the vineyard had gone in search of their son. Our protagonists questioned at length, and it was discovered that maybe it got to do with some clerical matters. So our three heroes volunteered to take the wine back to the taverna and to seek out clerical help, where they met Aurania. Hopefully I have pronounced that right. Returning together, all four people then managed to question the mother of the missing teenager, and they discovered something somewhat darker, that he had fallen under the influence of a sect, a cult of the worship of Hades, god of the dead, and he had been going to the Valley of Whispers and supposedly receiving tutelage, teachings, ideas from the prophet or seer or hermit that lurked within there, and that he was a troubled child, fascinated by death itself. They investigated his room and discovered a small shrine to Hades, including some black wax candles that seemed to perhaps be made not from traditional candle wax, and there was something else, that the mother took them, and hidden, trapped in a box under piles of junk, was a box, and as they opened the box there was a severed hand. But what made it worse was this hand was animate, undead. This claw attacked them, and they responded with righteous fury, destroying it. And it is about this point that we rejoin them as they decide what is the next best step forward. It's difficult to say with such darkness in the world how they're feeling at the moment, because the sun is bright, wine is being made, and on the surface in Ionia everything is as beautiful as ever. But over to you. What do you think? What is your next step forward?
Ionia, these scratches on my face, do I need to worry about these?
I don't think so, Firaz.
Okay. There's, like, on dead hand thingy scratched me. It was not natural.
I'm fairly confident that you can't catch being undead from being scratched by a
Good
hand,
to know.
she says hesitantly.
Just have to watch out for those bites.
It's all right, Lucius. I won't bite you.
Wait, what, is the hand biting now?
I think we're getting a little distracted.
Yes, there's a hand in a box. Anyone else not freaked out by hand in box? No, just me. Okay, I'm going to be over here, away from the box.
Firos holds up the box towards Bilios. Are you
No,
sure?
ah. Keep it away from me. Creepy.
Well, this is going to be fun.
Correct me if I'm wrong, you trapped the hand back in the box, you didn't destroy it, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes, we didn't have a way to destroy it, so we've contained it for the time being.
It doesn't like to be in the box, and it is banging. It wants to be let out. Scratching, banging.
Anybody rope, chains, a lead weight, anything?
Do you want to go and sit on it?
No.
Well, I have secured the opening and said an incantation over it. I would hope that that would hold it inside, at least while we're gone.
Oh, we're leaving it here. Excellent. Good idea. Yes.
Well, I'd rather not have something that's making incessant banging following us around when we're trying to work out where this young man might be. I mean, if you have a different viewpoint, I'm willing to hear it.
Yeah, I figured you'd do some thing and use it as a thing to find the thing, like magic of the same kind. I don't understand magic. It works that way, right?
Again,
Of course I've been drinking again.
Oh.
There's an undead hand in a box. It's the only way to deal with this.
I mean, it's not the only way to deal with it, but it certainly is a way of dealing with it.
And it's the easiest to come by in a winery. Speaking of... Nope, no, none of these seem to be open. That's disappointing.
Yeah, this area that you're currently in, the area that the child's mother kind of stashed this box, just has empty barrels and the like. There is nothing of anything of really any interest here other than this box itself. She is a distance away. She didn't want to leave you completely to it, but she's obviously very worried and concerned, not only about the box and the hand, but also about her child. You did notice last session as well that she too had a number of scratches hidden by her toga down across her neck. But it seems that Aurania doesn't think that it's going to be too much of a problem.
So we know that it's... Sorry, what? Well, we know he's gone to the Valley of Whispers, right? So are we going after him? Are we going to drag a teenager back kicking and screaming to his mother?
If we are, perhaps we should get the description and the name of the child before we go.
See, I always knew you were the smart one.
You're really making friends here, Bilios. You know that, don't you?
I'm excellent at making friends. You should come to some of my parties.
I wouldn't advise it.
You approach the mother seeking that information.
Go on, Lucius. I think you're up.
Certainly. And I'll wander over.
Okay. She wrings her hands. It's terrible, isn't it? Can you help?
Indeed. So in order for us to go find him, give us a bit more on what he looks like, and of course his name. We don't want to bring back the wrong teenager.
Well, I think he is unique. I mean, his name is Vaso. Obviously, our surname Calicus. He is an unusual-looking child. He is not fond of food, so he is quite thin, and he's not fond of sun either, which has gave him a very pale, pallid complexion. I keep trying to say he should take in the sun, but he prefers to shut himself into the dark in his room. And that's the other thing. I hear him all the time at night moving around. He rarely sleeps, and this means his eyes are dark and are black underneath. His hair, though, is black and curly, and if I can get him some, I just need some help to get. Ever since his father died, as I say, it has been more and more difficult.
Of course. I don't see that as being too much of a problem. Did he have any friends that we should worry about?
That was it. He looked down upon everybody. Thought everybody was beneath him. His only real interest was in his studies, and his studies were unhealthy. He was interested in what made the bodies work. And I don't mean muscle or bone. I don't even mean the eyes or the brain, or I mean, he was interested in the spirit, the soul, the vitae, the life force, desperate to try and capture some. The only friend, if you can call him a friend, and I've never met him, is the prophet, the seer, the hermit who lives in the Valley of Whispers.
That should do then. We will see ourselves off and attend to the hand as well as your child. We'll be back as quickly as possible.
And I will ensure that you are well rewarded for his return. Please bring him back.
Of course. And I'll turn and head back over to the group and relay said information.
As you head over back towards the group, Firos is slowly walking around behind Bilios as he's slightly distracted and just moving in close with the box.
Trying to taunt him.
Yeah.
Bilios, how do you feel about this invasion of your personal space with an undead hand in a box that is still scratching at the box now?
Probably like sticking his head into one of the barrels to try and see if there's anything in there. Just comes back up with Firos right behind him, and you hear a very high-pitched bleat come from Bilios. Nope, stay away, nope, and keep it away.
Yeah, always funny.
Yeah, I bleat when I'm nervous.
Perhaps we should find somewhere to leave that so that it doesn't draw attention.
Well, Bilios.
Me? Oh, the hand. Yes, good. No, not me.
The good news.
It wasn't for me. You have a hand on your face still.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. The good news is that it is past high sun now. The workers are coming out to carry on working. it means that as you make your way towards the Valley of Whispers, you are not going to be walking in the high sun, and boy does it get hot here during that time. The bad news is that by the time you make it to the Valley of Whispers, night will be falling. But time is pressing. The mother is worried, but it is your choice. Set out now or wait till tomorrow morning.
We collected that hand in the barn, correct?
Yeah.
Was the barn floored or was it open, like soft soil ground?
It's soft soil ground, and as I say, it was weighed down with various bits of broken wood and stuff.
Is there an open patch of soft soil in there?
You could certainly make one quite easily. This is quite fertile ground, perfect for growing kind of the wine, the vines.
Perfect. I'll attempt to struggle with some wood,
Yeah.
and then look over at Firos.
Firos shakes his head, walks over, and starts doing the heavy lifting again.
It's easy for you. There's no real need to sort of roll as you start moving pieces of wood and broken barrel and the like.
Fantastic. Once that ground is open, I'll use mold earth to get a 5-foot section expanded open so that we can put the box and then use it again to reclose it up.
Sounds perfect. What I'm kind of interested in, it works, but cinematically, how does Lucius use his power to mold this earth? What does it look like?
Basically, I'd be raising my staff, slowly chanting, looking at the ground intensely, and then slowly raising the staff up and kind of creating a furrow into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That would then, once we place the box back in, doing the same thing but in reverse, just pushing that ground back on top so that it's one solid mass.
Yeah, the very earth itself bends to your will. Impressive. It is now moulded into the earth and even more secure than it was before.
Well, that was impressive.
That should be good enough for the time being. No one else knows that it's here, and we can recollect it and deposit it elsewhere when we get back.
Shall we make a move now then, or are we going to wait till tomorrow?
Well, as long as we have a few torches, I think we should be fine.
Andy, do we have supplies? Like some food and stuff, or
you should have in your in your inventory. You've got your backpack and you've got 1 day's rations there, but it's easy enough to get some more. Just checking, really. Yeah, you've got fundamentally your equipment.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure whether it was presumed we'd taken it with us.
Cinematically, there is a montage scene of you just quickly gathering equipment, bits and pieces that you think you might need for this journey. There's no need to get into the nitty-gritty of it. One last drink, says Bilios, so you're going to allow him to do that. I don't believe that comes under essential, but
I mean, my backpack's probably at the taverna, so I'll just grab a cup on my way out.
It's the only way to get him to do anything productive in a day, so we might as well let him have one.
That is fine. I'm not here to stop that from happening, just to enquire whether you are allowing it or not. So you allow him to take one more drink, and then you set off. I mean, it's almost impossible to describe how beautiful this land is. The sea so blue, the sky its equal. The vineyards and the lemon trees, the olive trees, as you walk through the side of this, to your right, Mount Eos rising up. There could be no better place in this world than here. as I said in the introduction, a place where the very gods come and visit. Time passes. Is there any conversations you want to have whilst you are walking, or shall we cut to the Valley of Whispers? I take the silence as you're walking in silence.
Yeah.
So, time passes 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. The journey is pleasant. And then you arrive at the valley. It's kind of strange the way that Mount Eos twists and turns. This place always seems to be in shadow. Wherever the sun is in the sky shining down, it seems to be permanently in shade. The other thing where it gets its name from is there are wind channels, and as the wind passes through the valley, as the valley itself rises up the side of the mountain, it sounds like voices, whispers. It is a known place upon the island. This is the place that those that are tormented by the fates or gods, those that decide that it is their time to travel into the underworld, they come here and they throw themselves, listening to the whispers, off the mountain pass down into the valley. It is a place of death. As the shade comes down upon you, your moods change from the beautiful landscape of this island to quiet contemplation, and you begin to hear the whispers, the wind. Surely it's the wind and not voices. Is anybody going to try and see if you can hear words in the noises, or are you going to try and ignore it?
I will listen, because there could well be wisdom and actual words in there.
Okay. Anybody else before we reveal the fate of Oriana?
Certainly.
Okay.
Firos is probably alert at this point. Is like just a normal cat. His kind of hackles are up, and he's looking around and listening quite a bit.
Okay. Bilios?
I am trying to block out all of these awful, awful noises.
Okay. Are you just trying to concentrate, or are you going to do something more extreme, like shove something into your ears?
I'm just sort of humming to myself and sort of fiddling with anything that, like any sort of rings or bangles that can clank and sort of interrupt them.
Okay. At first, as you progress along the mountain pass, as you begin to rise up the side of Mount Eos, you concentrate, and it is nonsense. It is real nonsense. Just wind. You try and form, and your mind takes the noises and tries to translate it into words, and it is eerie. It is unusual, but no words. And then, those of you who are concentrating, you begin to hear words, a song, a beautiful song. What have you let yourself in for, I say?
Oh dear.
It's okay, I need to actually get rid of these. You can talk amongst yourselves at the moment, discussing the fact that you have heard these things.
Hey guys, can you hear that? The wind, it's starting to sound musical.
It's a nice enough tune.
No, wait. No, that's what I'm humming, right? It's just me. I
No,
can get my
it's not.
panpipes out.
Oh God, no.
I don't think it is your song, Bilios.
It is a female voice that you can hear.
Quite beautiful.
No, you're all just no. Stop. No, don't listen to it. Why are you listening to it? What is wrong with you people?
Why
No,
wouldn't we listen to it?
it's da 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 la 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 la. Not listening. No.
Do you think they are perhaps winding you up, or are you convinced you don't want to listen to this song?
I think if it was just Firoz, he'd be winding me up. So either the others are in on this, or there is something going on. I'm not entirely sure which.
Okay, Lucius. As you go further up this mountain path, you get to the point of the leap, the place that people come, and the voice is stronger there. You can hear it as you are lured towards it, as you begin to move away from the rest of the group, and you must know where this voice is coming from, and you get closer and closer to the edge. What do the rest of you want to
so
do?
Wonderful.
Careful where you're going there.
It's just this way. Come along.
No, that's a cliff, Lucius. There's a cliff over there. We don't go to cliffs. Cliffs are bad.
Oh, just a peek? We have to know where the song comes from, don't we?
Okay, no, you're all being far too silly. Can I bound up to Lucius and just slap him across the face?
Yeah, of course you can. If you go to combat tracker, that's a little cross swords. Target Lucius. So that is control and left click. And you're not trying to hurt him, but you're trying to sort of shake him. So it is going to require, do you wish to sort of try and grapple him, or do you wish to kind of try and slap him out of it?
I want to try and slap him out of it, and
Okay.
if that fails, I'll try and stop him.
Well, let us see what happens. Just do an attack roll, basically. This will just be your d20 plus your strength.
Cool. I don't actually have unarmed strike in there, but I could just roll a d20.
Yeah,
it's not going to be adding a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is.
It's just a straight d20 anyway.
Yeah. That misses as you kind of try and hit him, and he kind of pulls away. At that point, though, as you kind of try and strike, and he's close to the edge, you can see over his shoulder, you can see the leap. This is where people come and throw themselves down. This creature flies up in front of you. You all get a good sight. Female form, but talons, wings, a harpy. This is where the voice is mixed in amongst the whispers, and it has come to claim its prize. Can you give me initiatives, please? Wow, this is not looking good. Bilios, you
Did not go in? Sorry, didn't drag it over. Rolled it in the wrong place.
It is good that at least one person is going first.
Ilios is going to save us all, guys. Don't worry.
This creature has come up from the roost, from perhaps down below the outcrop of the leap, and it squawks and screams, stopping the luring song straight away. You look disorientated, Lucius, but Bilius, you get to go. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna shoot it like straight as soon as it comes up. Just like, pull out the bow and just try and get a shot off on it to get it to go away.
So there's no real map here at the moment, but theatre of the mind, you can target this, untarget Lucius. And
not currently visible in the combat tracker for us.
Sorry. It has appeared there.
Oh no!
Taking you by surprise.
Okay, let's try and hurt me a harpy.
Wow,
Oh,
you are
blimey,
not messing about, as that is a very good hit. As you take 1 or 2 steps back and draw your bow, and it's a shot and a hit. It does not like that at all as you strike it. It flies up high round and begins to fly down to try and rake you. Seeing you as the real threat here, it targets you. And this is going to be interesting as it tries to claw you, hitting you and heavily damaging you, almost taking you down. Having a taste for your blood, it begins to fly up, trying to work out who is the dangerous one here and who isn't. It swings at Lucius whilst charmed and misses, trying to push him over the cliff with a club in its arm, and that is its go. Let us move this down as we move to Firoz.
Firoz is going to pull out his shield and charge over to stand by these 2 guys, and is going to look at this harpy and let out a daunting roar.
Okay, what does daunting roar do?
That's a bonus action. Is it within 10 feet still? I assume it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become frightened until the end of the next turn.
Okay. It is frightened of you with that daunting roar. It does not like that. Now, is daunting roar an action?
That is a bonus action.
Wow. And you're only first level and you get to do 2 things as well. How amazing.
Yeah. Am I going to be able to attack it with my claws?
Yeah, absolutely. If that's what you want to do. You hit it.
Cool.
Okay. Is that your go?
I think so. I'm just double checking that. Yep, that's fine.
Okay, now we move to Lucius. Now I just need to check the rulings on this this luring song. It's stopped singing now. If the charm moves from the harp of the talkie, it must move its tone toward it. Whenever it takes damage from a source, it can repeat the same. So you've not taken any damage. So you are charmed by this thing at the moment. It is the most beautiful thing in the world. You're not compelled to attack your friends or anything, but you don't overly want to attack this beautiful, radiant, angelic thing. You'd die for this, really. So the best you can really do at the moment, Lucius, is make a wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn. Do you want to roll a wisdom save?
Sure. What I'll end up doing is I slowly take the cowl off and just kind of stare in wonder. Song, it's so beautiful. Please keep singing.
It smiles at you. Everybody else can see this hideous visage. A 15 is enough, though, and as it smiles, its mouth kind of opens more wide, a rictus smile, and its broken teeth. And then you look down and see that the claws and the talons, and you realize this is no angel. And
Not an angel. Not an angel.
break free of its enchantment. And
Lucius, stop flirting.
then we move
Okay,
to
good plan.
Oriana. It is your go.
Okay, I think my priority here is to make sure that we restore Bilios.
Bilios took a big attack there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So nearly down.
So very brave, and he will have a chance to get his attack on her again once I work out how to target him.
I can target him for you if you want. That makes it
Yeah.
easier. Okay, so you're now targeting Bilios.
Thanks. So I will. Do I just have to put the effect, or just press the cross button for a heal?
I think just a cross
right?
button, you can just heal him if that is what you're doing. So if
Nice.
you're happy with that, so it's got your modifier +3 and the 3 there. You were healed for 6 points. So anything else you want to do, Oriana?
No, I don't think I have any bonus actiony things.
It looks at you and hisses. It is not happy. We'll move back to Bilios, round 2.
The landscape around us, is it pretty sort of bleak and rocky? There's no like trees or anything to
Unfortunately
hide behind.
not. It is a mountain pass, quite narrow. It's going to be very difficult for you to try and hide. You can certainly try. The good news that you have is there is an ally within 5 feet of the harpy at the moment.
Oh, excellent.
So it's your choice, really. You can attempt to try and hide. There are kind of down the mountainside, there are boulders and rocks that have kind of over time fallen. It's,
Just a reminder that cunning action is level 2.
Yeah.
Because I got on that one.
So it wouldn't be a bonus action.
It
You're
wouldn't be
correct.
a
I was
bonus
looking like, I'm sure I can do this, but no, I can't. can
damn,
I?
I was going to allow you to hide and go, that's all you do this round.
Yeah, that is a good reminder. Thank you. I'd have wasted my turn. Instead, I will jump up on a leap or bound, I think would be the best term, up onto a rock and try and take another shot at this.
Describe how you do this, because this is a special talent of satyrs, isn't it? Satyrs. You have a bounding leap or something like that. You have special
mirthful leap.
Yeah, so you're not necessarily doing that ability, but you have this ability to jump from rock to rock and climb incredibly well.
Yeah, so like a mountain goat, Bilios just takes off and like sort of hops from one side of the valley onto a different rock and then up onto another rock, far too far. Like a normal person should not be able to make that jump. He's just sort of bouncing, taking it in his stride, and then sort of comes to a skidding stop with an arrow and tries to arrow knocked and tries to get another shot off at this harpy.
Yeah, give us a go.
As you do go running off, Firos will shout after you, "Where are you going?"
I'm getting a better... Oh, no, I'm not getting a better angle. I'm trying.
Now, the question is why did you miss? And even more, this is Untold Chronicles, where we homebrew rules.
Ooh.
Natural 1 is a critical miss, which is automatic, but there are repercussions to be had. Now, Firos was shouting at you to go away. You kind of turned towards Firos and let go of the arrow. What would you prefer to happen? Would you prefer to have the shot go towards Firos, or perhaps drop your weapon for a round? Or There's something else that can happen. I'm going to give you full narrative agency of how bad this critical fail is. What happens?
I think while sort of coming to the sliding stop, and then Firoz shouts, it's just an automatic turn towards the noise and release thing. So yeah, Firoz might be having an arrow heading straight towards him.
Okay. I mean, they are very close together, Firoz and the Harpy. Now, I'm not going to say that a critical miss is an automatic hit. What I'm going to say is give me another attack, and if it's good enough to hit Firoz, then it hits Firoz. So,
my AC's 18 at the moment.
yeah. So I want to play fair, especially at first level. So you kind of are aiming, and you've got the Firoz shouts, and you kind of turn and you accidentally let go, and it shoots. Fortunately for you, Firoz, you manage to move out of the way as this arrow cuts between you and the Harpy.
What are you doing? Hit it, not me.
You look very similar.
We need to have a conversation after this.
The Harpy is frightened of you, Firoz. But that isn't going to stop it attacking you. I believe whilst you are in line of sight of it, it has disadvantage on its attacks against you.
Yeah.
That's not going to stop it as it attempts to claw you. Or maybe it does, as it automatic misses. Now, I only want to play fair. The NPC has critically failed. It does have multi-attack. I'm going to say, because it's attacking you, Firoz, I'm going to give you narrative agency.
Ooh.
What bad thing happens to this? It misses you, absolutely. But what additional terrible thing befalls it?
I mean, can it drop its weapon? Oh wait, no, not really.
It's got a club. It's got a club in its hand
club.
that it was trying to use to bat Lucius off.
Cool. I mean, I imagine that if it's swinging at and it smacks off a shield, it goes for Firoz and then goes flying away a little bit.
Okay, that sounds good. So it tries to claw you, and you raise your shield so hard, it kind of does that thing, when you hit your funny bone and your hand sort of goes all numb. Its club sort of flies out and disappears off the cliff, and it means it can't have its second attack, as it is probably just as shocked as you, Firoz, that Bilios almost hit you with an arrow.
I'm feeling very much targeted at the moment. It's not good.
Okay, and then we move to Firoz, and the frightened effect moves off the Harpy. What would you like to do?
I'm now going to pull out my longsword and go now attack with the longsword.
Okay. An 11 is a hit. Only just, and you cut deep into the Harpy. Very good. Anything else you want to do?
I think that's it for now.
Okay, it kind of recoils and hisses, stretching its claws, and now it's chosen one, Lucius. You've broken free of the Harpy's sung. You are teetering on the edge as you kind of look over. Your eyes follow the club as it spins past you and down. At the bottom of this valley, you can see the broken bodies, the skeletons of the people that have come here, and you begin to realize now that maybe half of the doing is down to this wicked creature. What would you like to do?
Well, definitely better part of valor, backing up 30 feet as quickly as possible.
Not a problem.
In doing so, I reach into my component pouch, pull out the tiniest bell, turn around at the end of that 30 feet, ring the bell at the Harpy, and stare in kind of this forlorn manner. You looked like an angel, but you were certainly not. And I'll cast Toll the Dead.
Very nice.
Ooh.
So you're targeting the Harpy. You can force it to make that wisdom saving throw. It does, unfortunately, shake it off and succeeds.
Okay.
Taking no damage from the cantrip. Then we move to Urania, sorry.
Can I reach the harpy? As
Yeah.
in,
It's flying just above Firoz at the moment, clawing, but you can easily get into combat with it.
okay. I want to draw out of a pouch, probably, as I move towards them, some volcanic ash.
Yep.
And speak some words over it. It will probably start to heat up and grab hold of probably her leg if she's still kind of flying.
Yep.
And cast inflict wounds.
Wow.
Ooh.
Not missing about.
And probably say something about, the fact that she has brought lots of people to their doom, and she will do it no more. She will join them. As
beautiful. Okay, so you're targeting, and I think it's just an attack roll, is it? Inflict wounds?
Yeah. Failing horribly.
It is, unfortunately, a fail. Not a critical miss, though, but only failing by about 2. Is there any way you can increase that? Is there any fates or anything that can happen?
I don't think
No.
so, because
Okay.
I have things like bless, but they're an action in themselves, so and they're
Yeah.
another spell. So
Okay. It kind of escapes the grasp, and it recognizes the symbol, and it calls at you. How many that follow your Hecate have fed my belly? And then we move to Bilius.
I will try the wisecrack of, well, try in this and see if I can actually hit it with an arrow this time.
Okay.
Firoz is
not
staying
hit
very quiet
Firoz.
this time.
Well, you do hit this time. You will get your sneak attack damage as well, which is a good job, really.
Good, because that
So
wasn't great.
Oh, that was almost
That's
a 2,
better.
but it is a 6, so I will increase that up to 28. Oh, it doesn't like that at all. So yeah, it is blooded now, and for all its bravado, it doesn't want this. It's going to use its action to disengage, and it flies 40 feet downwards over the lip and down out of the way. We move to Firoz.
Firoz is going to drop his long sword and pull out his crossbow and see if he can get a shot off.
Okay, you have to move right to the lip and the edge and kind of look over. And as you do, vertigo begins to... there is no sight of it. Give me a perception roll for free. So you're just kind of trying to lay your eyes upon it. And yeah, that's easy enough. You realise that there are a number of small ledges, and you can see that there's definitely some kind of small roost or cave that she must have flew down and into. It's only about 20 foot down, but you can't get line of sight on her at all.
Gonna point it out to people.
Yeah, you can make it obvious. Absolutely.
Gonna back away from the edge.
Okay, perfect.
Gonna call out to everybody. Get everybody gather here, just in case she comes back.
Okay. So we move to Lucius.
I'll go ahead and move up, gather with Firoz, and prep Toll the Dead on holding pattern.
Perfect. And then we move to Oriania.
So I think I'm going to move towards the edge and call out to the harpy, taunting them about how they may have taken many who follow Hecate, but clearly she doesn't want to add another one to her tally because she is too scared to do it. And probably prep chill touch if I get line of sight on her within range.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to say, give me a taunt. I'm interested to see whether you can vex her enough. At the moment, she's not stupid. She's badly wounded, and you are outnumbered. She's lost the surprise. So this is going to be at disadvantage. But let us see if the dice can tell a tale. You can do either any kind of social skill, so deception, intimidation, or persuasion. But it is at disadvantage because she doesn't want any of this. You need to get really under her skin to see if she's going to act.
Oh, I clicked disadvantage, but I think it's only rolled 1 dice, hasn't it?
It hasn't rolled anything yet.
Oh,
So so click DIS, go to your character sheet with your skill, and which skill did you want to?
I was doing persuasion.
Okay, yeah. So give it a double click on the number. That's it. There you go. Oh, that is such a
Dropped
shame.
to 20.
You dropped to 20. But at the moment, she's you definitely. I'm going to take in the account of that 20. And she was very tempted, and then she thought better of it. I mean, she is badly wounded, and she doesn't come out at the moment. Go to the top of the round again. Bilios.
I'll go over to the edge, sort of glance at Firoz backing away. But what, you're afraid of heights? And look over to see if there's any way of getting down there, like climbing any vines, any sort of ledges that might lead down.
It's only about 20-foot drop to the ledge where you can see this cave is. It is an atypical cliff face. There are roots and vines. You think that you, with your special leaps, could probably do it relatively easily. It's going to be somewhat more tricky for other people, but it looks very much if you intend to finish what has been started, you are going to have to go down and finish it.
I'll just turn to the group like, well, at least I can get down there, but
Are you going to jump down there?
I could make it down, either jumping or sort of climbing, but you're... No offense, Firoz, but you're not the most dexterous person I've ever met.
I challenge that.
Okay, well, you can challenge it later. Or you can climb down. After you. After you.
Oh, thanks.
It is, of course, rumoured that if this has drawn so many people to their deaths, whatever items they had upon them will probably be in the nest.
Ooh, well, that's tempting.
It is very tempting.
As a voice speaks in the back of Bilios's head.
All of the wine that you could buy with all of those treasures.
Be like a king of the vineyards.
Yeah, I'm going down. I'm gonna start like making my way down to the to this ledge.
Okay.
I'll get my bow over the shoulder and just start goating my way down.
Very good. I like your mirthful leaps. It's a great thing. Whenever you make a long jump, you can roll a d8 and number. Yeah. So this is good. You can choose to either parkour, sort of acrobatics, or athletics this down. It's not very far down, and this is, let's say, atypical mountain face.
I will acrobatics it.
Yep.
I'll parkour my way down.
Give us a roll. Oh, look at that. I'm going to say not only do you get down rapidly the 20 feet, you get into the roost and you see that there is a cave opening, and at the back of the cave, perched there, is this wicked looking harpy. She does indeed actually have a name, because I like to name characters. Let us go to encounters. Zelaphi. the harpy. Let us just write that in there. And she looks at you. She hisses. But you do have an action left.
I'll unsling the bow from my shoulder and just sort of look at her and go, sorry, but you did kill a lot of people, and try and shoot her.
Okay. So you're targeting her. Give us a shot.
After saying that, please don't get...
Bugger.
Oh.
And you miss.
It's not a natural one, but,
True.
you know, it's also bad.
It's very bad because I baited you and it is her turn next. She is going to bound forward and take advantage of you here. What is she going to do? She is going to attempt to grapple you. So I need to do a strength check, which is that one there.
How strong is Bilios these days?
So that is 16.
Incredibly average.
So she grabs you, fairly strong in her claws, and begins to kind of shove you to the edge. You need to resist this. Sorry, you can't see the rolls at the moment. Let us change that for you. So I got a 16 there. Now, to combat this grapple check, you can either choose strength athletics or strength dexterity acrobatics to try and counter this grapple she has upon you.
I'll go for acrobatics again. I'm more bouncy than I am strong.
Absolutely, you got a 25. Surely you can beat a 16. Oh, equal.
16.
Equal. So, I'm going to say you managed to dodge out of the way as she's now trying to shove you off. That is her action, though, and we move to Firoz.
Firoz feels that he probably better try and get down there then.
Now it's a lot more difficult for you. How are you going to do this?
Am I able to climb down?
You certainly can. Do you have a climb speed?
No.
So what you're trying to say is like tabaxis are better than. Is that what you're telling me? Okay, so this is going to be strength athletics to climb. Now there are roots, there are sort of rocks that come out. That is enough, fortunately. Everything is scaled to sort of level 1. So it's only 20 feet down. But that is going to take all of your movement as you kind of drop down to this ledge. As 20 foot with your climbing is doubled, so it's technically 40 foot. So what I'm letting you do is, in effect, climb till you're almost there, then just drop the extra few feet down, and you kind of land. But you are not.
How far away?
Yeah, it's not far, but it's just out of reach. So you can technically double move and get into the sort of entrance of this ledge where this epic kind of battle of shoves is going on, with the harpy trying to push Bilios out to obviously its death. But the choice is yours.
Yeah, I think double move and get in there to try to distract.
So you're in there, but that's it. At least you are down. At the entrance of this roost, the smell is terrible, though. The personal hygiene of Zalefi leaves a lot to be desired.
I think the discussion about regular bathing probably can wait at the moment.
Okay, and then we move to Lucius.
I think I'll just holler down, try to shove her out. And then again, prep the Toll the Dead.
Yeah, okay, it's not far. You easily hear this. When I say you easily hear this, this is the Valley of the Whispers, and these whispers are still going, and amongst all of those whispers, you think you hear Lucius giving you instructions of what to do. Then we move to Oriana.
How far away are Firoz and Bilios from me?
Not far, about 20 feet. You can see them. They are teetering on the ledge into this cave. It's substantially further down to their deaths. If they fall now, there is no saving them.
Okay, I will take out a piece of volcanic rock and I will call upon Hecate to place her blessing on my 3 companions. And as I do that, I will let there will be kind of like sort of little bits of ash that come off the stone that sort of wrap around the people that are being blessed by her.
That is awesome.
My armor's getting dusty. What?
So I've targeted all 3 of them. So if you
Okay.
go to your bless and click on the effect, it should. There we go. Look at that. Give them that. And the ash upon you, sort of, it's like embers. It sparkles, and there is a degree of heat, both protective but also potentially damaging to your enemies. And we move. I'm assuming is that the end of your go?
It is, yeah.
We move to Bilius as you and Zelophy are having a Star Trek the original series Captain Kirk wrestling match at the moment. To one side and to the other. You know you are only a couple of steps away from falling to your death.
Well, that's not fun. Is there any way I can get my any of my other, like my short sword or anything out, or is it just a case of too close quarters?
Simple item interaction. You kind of put your bow on your back to jump down, didn't you? Although then you took it out to shoot. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I'll just I'll throw my bow at her to distract her long enough to draw my short sword and then try and.
Okay, and you draw.
Do we need a damage roll for the for the short bow bouncing off her?
No. No advantage to this, but you're not grappled, and you do have Firos. Firos backed you up here, so you do have the ability to potentially sneak attack if you hit.
It's a big if.
Stab her already.
Well, I mean, fortune favours the bold, and you have bless upon you, and the DC is the armor class is only 11, and you hit a good solid hit. You notice those ashes burn.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah,
I think you
you
go the other way around.
I need to change.
You add that and then roll.
Yeah.
That's okay. Feel free just to roll another d6.
Yeah,
and it's still not enough, unfortunately. It's very close, as people in chat can see. Very close. But she gets a go. And she doesn't like to have been frightened, and she thinks that you are not overly the threat, so she's going to target once again Firoz, and she's going to attempt to strike. And misses. The armor class doing you a favour. We move to Firoz.
Well, Firoz forgot to bring his longsword down with him, and so he's going to go for some Chloros.
Okay, interesting. Even with Hecate's blessing you miss. Anything else you want to do?
I think that is everything.
Then we move to Lucius.
Definitely not going down, so I'll be up here with Toll the Dead.
Okay, I don't blame you. Okay, then we move to Aurania.
I'm going to, I think, prep mind sliver for if I can see her or if she comes into view this time. And if she doesn't, then I'm going to go down because clearly they need some more help.
I mean, you gave them
fine. We've got this.
the blessing of your goddess. This could be. Let's see. Bilius, we come back again as this life and death struggle.
Back in with the
Short sword.
kind of like a gladius, but smaller and thinner.
And once again, you hit.
What are the rules for?
That is a critical hit, yes, because if it's 10 more than the armor class, and the armor class is only 11, so that is a 21 you need. You are going to critically hit. So, can anybody do you know how it happens in Fantasy Grounds? How do you force a crit?
I think probably the easiest way is just if you drag the damage. So if you click and hold over the damage and drag, and then right click, it will just add a dice.
Yeah. So apply your sneak attack first. I'm gonna see if we can do this. And just give me a second. I'm gonna do this and see whether this is going to affect you because it's on yours. So roll those dice and let's see whether it gives you that critical hit. Yes. And you kill 14 points of damage. Poor Zelaphy. Dealing with this blight. It doesn't stop the whispers coming down, the wind that is whispering down this valley, but you most definitely have found one of the causes for the individuals leaping, as you have very cleverly dealt with the creature. Okay.
I'll just wipe my sword clean on one of its wings and then look at Firos and I won't tell anyone that you were useless. If that's fine, don't worry about it.
Give me that weapon now.
What, my sword?
Yeah, hand it over.
Okay.
I've got my long sword. It's up there.
Oh, good. Right. Okay.
Firos leans down, grabs the harpy, and starts trying to chop his head off.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's just from not this. Necessary.
It's easy enough task. You're kind of precariously on this ledge. The wind is blowing. It looks epic, but you know you are a couple of steps away from death. Maybe that's how you like to live your life.
Wow.
I'll go into the cave and look for shinies.
Okay, it is terrible in here. If you thought it smelled bad at the entrance as you go in, it is disgusting. And it's going to take you some time as you search amongst the bones and the refuse that are here, but you begin to pick together a whole host of wealth. And I think this is the first big wealth that we have got in Untold Chronicles.
Oh.
As you begin to gather together, if you go to the party sheet and click on inventory, you gather together a substantial amount, having dealt with this terrifying threat.
Ooh, very nice.
You need a hand there?
It takes it takes you time to begin to pick all of these things out, and you have two impatient people at the top of the ledge. Are you telling them you are searching for things, or are you making some other excuse? What are you saying to them?
I think we lost them, Oriana. We might as well go on.
We'll be back in a minute.
It's certainly gone very quiet, hasn't it? Maybe I should try and taunt the harpy some more.
Oh, probably a good idea.
Oriana will call down to where she thinks that the harpy is perhaps chewing on her companions at this point, and try to taunt it some more, that they are not, that she may have managed to defeat her companions, but that her and Lucius are going nowhere, so she may as well come out now before she bleeds to death, and at least has a decent death.
That's very good. I mean, do you do some kind of vigil for your fallen? Do you describe their heroics or their non-heroics? How foolish they are or how brave they are?
Yeah, I mean, I will probably draw on the fact of, the fact that when we started that Bilios had wounded her, and that she was so afraid of Firaz, and that she has more to be afraid of because we're not leaving, and generally just trying to provoke her in any way that I think I can to coming back out again.
Okay.
Firos in the cave looks over to Bilios and says, "Keep searching. I think we've got a few minutes before they actually come down."
Yeah.
I heard something about bleeding. Is there another one up there attacking them, do we think?
They'll be fine.
Yeah, probably be fine. Ooh, gold.
Oh, that's quite shiny.
Okay, time passes. No harpy comes out. No sound apart from maybe ooh and shiny. Lost to the whispers in the Valley of Whispers.
Oh, she's picking them clean. She's going through their armor. They shouldn't have washed it before they left.
I will, in which case I'm going to up the ante and use some thaumaturgy to cause tremors in the ground around the entrance to the cave, and make my voice boom as though it's coming right at them through the sort of wind. And basically, instead of now trying to taunt, I'm telling her to come out now, like more authoritatively.
Perfect. You hear tremors. Sounds like the cave is about to collapse, and you hear the threat that Hecate herself is going to curse those within the cave.
Bilios, I think we might need to get out of here.
Yes, time to go.
Have you got everything?
1, 2, 3, 4 sacks. Yes, I think we're good.
Right. Firos cautiously goes to the entrance of the cave and pokes his head out, looking around to see if there's any gods just suddenly appeared.
I think you see a familiar face looking down at you.
Oh, it's taunting us with their heads. That's terrible.
That is beautiful. Have a DM's inspiration for that comment. That is very nice.
Is it safe to come out yet?
Oriana's thaumaturgy kicks in again, at which there's sort of like a dimming of the light around them. Again, the voice booms out, "You're not dead."
No,
No.
thank you for noticing.
Is my longsword up there?
I'd duck your head in after that comment. It might come flying down.
Should we?
It's 20
should we try and head
feet
back
up,
up?
isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So, what is your plan?
I think we're going to climb back up.
Okay.
Unless if any of us can just magically jump up there.
I can jump pretty far.
Yeah.
I don't think I can jump 20 feet, but I can jump far.
Yeah, you were made for this kind of terrain. So, give me. It's going to be strength athletics for both of you because you are climbing up this time. But that said, with your you are fine, Firaz. your DC. Oh, I thought that was a natural one then. I thought we'd lost
It
Bilius.
very nearly was, wasn't it?
Yeah, with your leap, you both managed to get back up and climb up, and you appear to have sacks with you that clank and jangle.
Yeah, no, absolutely
Oh,
fine.
look.
Wasn't a problem.
There's my long sword.
Ex-harpy.
I really should have taken that down with me.
Could I have my short sword back, please?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
If the other two look over as well, Firos has currently got the head of the harpy just dangling from his belt.
Oh, did you collect any of its guano? That's exceptionally useful.
I mean, there's definitely some on Firoz's legs, arms. Think on his tail.
Oh, good.
Oh,
If you can just clean some of
wash
that
it
off
again.
and put it into a bottle, that'd be great.
Wow. We'll see. Is it worth money?
Oh, everything's worth money to someone.
Oh, I need to pay for my room at this place, don't I? So
Shall we off?
I
Okay.
think so.
Okay. Your findings, are you going to split them now? Or are you going to mention them, or are you just moving off?
I might take a finder's fee, but I will mention to the party that we recovered a few bits and bobs and pull out stuff like the potion and the quartz and things.
Okay. So, because we kind of run all of the Untold Chronicles here, we need to kind of distribute this so it doesn't get mixed into the other campaigns. So it depends very much how you want to distribute this now.
I think looking at how Lucius and Ionia are looking at us as we came back up from there, while they thought that we were dead, maybe we just split it evenly.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So I can do the money straight away. That should easily split that between you. It's a very nice stash, and perhaps makes up for some of the tardiness of them. There is, though, 4 gems and a mysterious potion. So I don't know if everybody wants a gem each.
Do I know anything about gems from my particular skill set as to which would be the most expensive gem?
Well, if you click on the little brown buttons, it tells you exactly what they are.
Oh, magical.
Yeah, it's almost like.
And they're all worth the same.
Yeah.
I'll take the citrine because it's nice and yellow, bright and sunny.
So if you open up your character sheet, go to your inventory, you should, non-magical items, should be able to just drag the shield across and drop it into your inventory.
Yep.
There you go. And Firoz has dragged one. Lucius and Orania. Do you want to take one each? And then that just leaves the mysterious potion.
Oh, you take your pick.
There we go. And what do you want to do with said potion? It's a vial of red liquid that shimmers when agitated.
Either of you two recognize this at all?
Red generally denotes healing of some form. Probably best to go to you.
If you think it's healing. Are we certain before I suddenly swig it and keel over?
Well, if we had a pearl, I could tell you with more certainty.
All right, I'll hold on to it for now.
Okay. Perfect. And with the share of that loot, as I say, the first one in Untold Chronicles for that amount, and putting that unknown threat to bed, making this area substantially more safe, you can carry on into the Valley of Whispers. As I said, the Valley of Whispers is eternally in shade and shadow, but with all of the time spent investigating the cave, the night is falling fast. Fortunately, it is a typical Ionian night, a clear sky, and you can see the stars beginning to blink into existence. Little moon, though. It's still quite dark. Could mean the mountain pass is somewhat treacherous. Do you have light? Do you have dark vision? How are you going to proceed?
As it starts to get a bit dark, Firos will reach into his bag and pull out a torch and light it.
Mm-hmm. It's very atmospheric as the wind is still blowing, and it is ensuring that the flame of your torch is kind of flaring up and shadows are cast and the whistling and voices, whispers in all of your ears as you move forward. How are you proceeding, and in what sort of order are you going?
I think Firos will go first.
Okay, Firos first, carrying the torch, lighting the way. Firos, Lightbringer. Very nice. And who's going next? There is, in time, in part, enough space for two people to go side by side if you wish, although it does leave one relatively close to the edge, and you are climbing higher and higher into this mountain. Who is following after Firos?
Aurania will.
Okay, very good. And after Aurania?
Lucius will come in.
So, Bilius, you are bringing up the rear.
The safest place to be, right?
Possibly. Possibly. Only time will tell. You make good progress, though, and not focusing on the voices, you slowly but surely arrive at your destination. Let me get this up for you. Oops, that is not the right one. That is what I want. It is not pleasant as the sun is dipping down, the stars are out. Let us reset the thing for you as you begin to move along this mountain pass. There is a rock formation ahead of you, which is very reminiscent of a skull. The whole of this place is huge, massive, and ominous. There we go.
Oh, that looks friendly.
This is supposedly the place that this seer makes its home. It doesn't look overly welcoming as the moonlight and starlight casts shadows around. But this is where you have come, and there is only one way forward.
Well, shall we head on in?
No time like the present.
Absolutely.
You begin to...
Fine.
Let us do that. You begin to move forward cautiously, the light casting twisted shadows left, right, and then you hear a noise. It's certainly not whispers from the valley. It is something else, and it is incredibly unnatural. And that is where we will leave it till episode 3. Well done, everybody. Well done. Time flies by, does it not? Good
Yeah,
news
it was
is that you have leveled up now, and certainly the early leveling we're just going to do. So you'll be level 2 at the start of the next session as you react to whatever this unholy noise is. Or it might be incredibly holy if it's on Hades' side. Only time will tell. So I want to say a big thank you to you, our players. I hope you enjoyed that. I loved all of the interaction between the characters. It was really cool. And I want to say a big thank you to all of our viewers. We've had great numbers tonight. Thank you very much for those of you who have followed us. And if you are new and haven't gave us a follow yet, please do. We really appreciate it. And all the people that have subbed and resubbed, I see you there, Insomniac, trying to make it all work. Really appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. And I will catch you tomorrow, Insomniac, for our vampire game first thing. But for now, though, it is time to say good night to everybody. So once again, thank you very much, everybody. And I will catch you all very, very soon.